the burrow is, and then if I put a gorilla where the zebra is, would you say kids, 5-year-old kids would say they're very similar, they're the same kind?
Well, there may be some 5-year-olds who would believe that.
Right. But that can happen, right?
Well, are they interfertile?
No, I don't think they are.
Then they're not the same kind. These two are interfertile. They're the same kind.
Okay, so what about a horse and a donkey?
Wait, I showed you quite a few examples where the horses, zebras, and asses can all be crossbred. There's a website dealing with that.
Right, but their offsprings are not fertile.
Doesn't matter. They can produce an offspring.
Okay.
Okay. The human and ape cannot even produce the first generation, let alone a sterile generation.
Okay, but you're saying What?
Now, maybe somebody here has tried it. I don't know. I wouldn't surprise me. But go ahead.
Oh, come on now. Don't go there. Don't go there. Come on now.
Okay.
What I'm saying is, I mean, the way you place different animals, different species, in a category that show that they're the same kind, the same can be done for hominids, for primates.
Well, first of all, the differences between apes and humans, I think, are pretty profound. There are millions of differences.
Like 98%, like 2% of DNA differences?
Well, it's actually 5% difference.
Okay, 5% differences.
Okay.
Would you say two things that are 95% in common are very similar?
I'd say they have the same designer. Yeah, the same guy.
Not ancestors?
No. It wouldn't prove the same ancestor. It could prove a lot of things. Actually, the similarity between a Honda Prelude and a Honda Accord are pretty striking.
Yes, they're from the same maker, Honda.
You got the point. You got the point.
I do get the point. I believe in Christ. I believe He created certain things, but
do you believe it's possible that
evolution.
Wait. Do you believe it's possible that humans and apes have similarities because they simply have a common designer? Is that a possibility? That they're not even related, they're just the same guy designed them all?
That can be a possibility, yes.
Okay, is that something that ought to be taught in the schools, maybe?
If it's a theory...
Oh, no, it involves creation.
No, it can't be. It should be taught if it's labeled as a theory.
Okay.
I'm not saying that, creation shouldn't be taught because, I mean, theory of evolution is a theory. It's taught in schools.
Would you agree that it's not taught in the schools?
I do agree it's not taught in schools.
Okay.
And I think tax dollars from Christians should not, if they don't want, be funded in public schools that teach a theory that they object. I agree with you.
So tax dollars should not go to teach evolution in public schools. They should teach it in private schools.
Unless the people that pay the taxes agree that they should. But let's go back to the subject.
Wait. How many of you pay taxes for the schools in this state, and you do not believe evolution should be taught, but you're paying for it anyway? How many of you resent that? Okay. So, now, I really want to hear Skip's question. We've only got a few minutes left. Let me just point out one thing. Okay. The textbooks say humans and orangutans are 96% similar, proving a common ancestor 15 billion years ago. This is ludicrous, but I'll just give them that. Okay. Barney Maddox, one of the leading genome researchers, said the difference between humans and his nearest relative, the chimpanzee, is at least 1.6%. That doesn't sound like much, but calculated out, that's a gap of 48 million nucleotides, and a change of only 3 nucleotides is fatal to an animal. If this is a guy saying you change 3 things, you're probably going to die, and there's 48 million differences, that's when they thought it was 1.6% difference. Now they know it's actually 95% similar, which is 5% difference. So it's much worse than they think, and even still, they're missing the whole point. Similarities don't prove any ancestry. It might prove the common designer.
So I guess horses and burros aren't. They're not the same type. They're not the same kind.
Girls are not the same.
No. That's not what I said. Zebras and stuff. The horses, basically.
Horses and zebras are the same kind.
Okay. But humans are not.
Humans are not the same as horses. No, not
to me, there's an inconsistency, but that's my opinion. I'm going to yield my time.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thanks a lot. Just before I start, making a quick comment. I disagree when you say the burden of proof is on the evolutionists. Because at this university and all over the UC system and universities all over the country, scientists, grad students, some of them are probably here, are applying evolutionary principles and publishing their work in scientific papers. That's how the method works. I know of no scientific papers that have come out of Dinosaur Adventureland that have appeared in Nature or Science or Cell or any of the other major publications. Now, hang on, that said, let's move on to the questions.
None of this slap and run stuff, okay? One comment at a time, okay? If you want to use that as evidence, you have got to be kidding. The fact that nobody publishes in a science journal that believes in creation might prove there's some big blackout on creationist information, just like the Soviet Union wouldn't publish an article about capitalism 10 years ago.
Go do some science and then bring it to them and convince them that you have something. Because every major revolution in science has taken a long time. You know, some guy doesn't just pop up with a new idea and they say, hey, that's great. Alfred Wegener, who discovered plate tectonics, died before his theory was accepted by geology. It's
if you want to go there,
let's move on.
We don't have time for that tonight, but we can go there.
Let's move on to my question.
Watch my video number 7. The first 20 minutes.
I've seen all your videos over and over again.
Yeah, you're going to get you converted. I really am.
You may. I may get you converted. It's a crazy world. Now, on to my question. Earlier, you made a statement, something about that evolution plays no role in the medical field. I want to make sure I get that exactly right.
I said there is no doctor when he's doing heart surgery that cares anything about evolution. He just really know his biology.
All right, well, let's go. Let's
Is that what I said? Did I get that right? Okay, go ahead.
All right. Would you say that then you're saying evolution really plays no role in medicine?
If you want to go to antibiotic resistance, I think you're opening a real big...
Let's move on real quickly. I'll make this challenge to you. I'll go home and I'll reserve the URL doctorsinevolution.org. Okay? I'll let you write the statement, anything you want about evolution and its relation to medicine. And I know of no single doctor, I can't name one off the top of my head, who actually uses evolutionary principles in his work. But I'll bet you in 30 days, I can have 20 practicing MDs who will all cite, maybe even publish papers they do, where they apply evolutionary principles in their work. Will you accept that challenge?
I believe you're probably right. You could do that, but listen carefully. What they're going to do, the doctor...
So now we're talking about, you admit that evolutionary principles are applied out there in the medical field. Where is creationism applied in medicine?
You're missing it now. If a doctor writes a paper for your website that says, I use evolution in my practice, ask him specifically what he means. When he's doing surgery on somebody, he doesn't care.
Or why are you limited only to surgery? And if I can find a surgeon who actually says, yes, I do use it,
okay.
Will you then retract the statement you made tonight on your website?
Skip, you could probably find a surgeon that believes, life came from Mars, or that there are little green men, living under the White House.
And you could also probably find one that believes the Earth is only 6,000 years old.
You probably can. I bet I can find a lot of those.
All right, let's move on.
So the point is...
So you're not accepting the challenge, is that it?
I don't think it's a challenge. Okay, if you want to do a website and see how many doctors believe in evolution and how many doctors believe in creation, I think you'll be surprised. There'll be many thousands.
We won't get anywhere with that. They do want to give the other person an answer. And let me ask you this.
Would you agree there might be many doctors who would say, hey, I'm a practicing physician, and I think evolution's a dumb theory.
Oh, absolutely. And you can also
what's the point? What's the point?
The point is that you made an insinuation that evolution doesn't play any role in medicine.
No, you're making the insinuation that because a few doctors believe in evolution, therefore evolution is part of science. That's not
If I find you 20 practicing medical people who apply it in their work, will you admit that evolutionary principles are valuable to modern science?
I would like to see how they apply it in their work and define exactly what you mean by evolution. You're going to find it's nothing but variations like the bacterial resistance.
Let's move on to this. Several times you say up there that Haeckel was convicted of fraud by his university, correct?
6 professors, University of Jena, 1875.
Okay. If I can produce scholarly work to disprove that, will you quit making that claim?
I would like to say that corrected. I've seen several sources that say that's correct. Maybe 1874. Is that what you're saying instead of 75? Did I get the
No, it's actually documented all throughout the historical record. If I can produce enough work and we can post this on a common website, will you quit making the claim? I'm not defending Haeckel.
I will make anybody that corrects me, if they can show something that I'm making that's inaccurate, I will correct it. Will you correct it? Do you teach that the vestigial organs is evidence for evolution, or the whale has a vestigial pelvis? Does your website teach that some of these evidences I gave tonight is lies? Are you going to correct that website?
No, because it's the consensus of the scientific community. And as far as I know, your creationist movement hasn't produced any valid science and published it to back up the claims that you made.
It doesn't matter what we produce. You're saying...
Yes, it does, and the burden's on you. This university does great research and publishes in the scientific journals.
That's proof, all right.
That's the big boys, Ken. That's the big boys. All right, I'll finish.
Yeah, boy, if you publish in a journal, that's proof. Go check the Soviet Union and see how that logic works out. Okay?
Hi, my name is Laura Quilter. I'm an attorney. I'm not a scientist, but some of my best friends are scientists.